You know, I don't usually think of myself as playing much in the way of like sports kinds of games, but then I look back at what I've played here and I see a few of them, like, I don't know, SSX Tricky or other SSX games, Whiskey and Snowboard games, and another game by the same developer actually, that being Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge. That is another game by Climax Racing, from around the same era. In fact, what got me looking at this game was, one, the fact that I played it a heck of a lot back in the day, but I'll get to that in a second. I've been writing some modding tools for Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge, and they pretty much work for this game as well, at least with minor modifications. So you might see me toying around with this game on my reverse engineering channel sometime soon. But I spent a lot of time with this for not having played it yet on here. Really, like a whole heck of a lot. I spent many hours playing this, but the thing was, I never played it right. I basically only ever entered a cheat to unlock everything, and then just kind of explored the levels for hours. I never did much in the way of like career in this game and so on, which is a thing you can do, or that you normally would for that matter. So I figured, hey, let's try doing that. I finally get to show off this game. I did make a brief attempt to show off this game many years ago with Storm and RKO, but it just kind of went sideways, and I never uploaded it. I don't think I have it anymore, the footage. Also, you can tell from this opening here that this game has a very good but also extremely licensed soundtrack, which is always a fun adventure to try to upload to YouTube, so we'll see where that takes us. Thankfully, this game does give you the option not to grind rails as someone tries to in the opening, which I always find strange. This game does give you the option to just tell songs to stop existing on the individual song level. What I mean by that is there's actually a jukebox option in the options, and you can just choose which songs can play. So if any particular song gives us too much trouble, namely it just gets the video muted, I can just disable those for future episodes. Unfortunately, there's no way to know which songs are going to do that until we actually try uploading them, so... Vroom. So we will have to just see what happens. In the worst case, if the game says... if YouTube says, no, that song is not allowed to be in a video that still has audio intact, then I will have to remove the game audio of that portion of the video. So if you ever find yourself watching these videos and the commentary keeps going but the in-game audio suddenly stops, well, that's why. Here's the jukebox where you can disable music. I have a lot of... I know a lot of these songs quite well. I like a lot of these, actually. But anyways. I don't think there's anything settings-wise I want to play with. Yeah, no. I don't know if it's on surround sound by default. I don't know how people ever had surround sound back in the day when that was a thing that lots of games just started supporting. But anyways. Now, I will start with the tutorial. I won't do all of it, because I think there's a lot to do. But... oh yeah, you can skip music with R3. But, I don't remember all the details of how to play this, so I like to get at least a little bit of footing in here. And I do also just like the tutorial course anyways. It's a cool, fun place to explore.
Welcome to the training course.
It's also narrated.
Here you learn a few important driving techniques.
Yeah, it's always awkward having to, like, fight for narration time with someone in the game, but here we are. Using the default control configuration. Also, I'm playing this game in widescreen. This game does supposedly have official widescreen support. I can't tell if it does the old just stretching the pixels sideways thing, or if it's actually outputting at a different resolution. Either way, I don't think it really... I think it is just outputting at a different resolution. I could be wrong. Either way, it doesn't really matter, because this game's gonna be stretched anyways, right? Just trying to get my bearings here again. A little bit. Oh, hi. Good job. I do feel like once you've played Climax and you've kind of played all of them, their racing games, like even the menus, they clearly reuse a ton of stuff. Like the same give yourself a name and other such things. Menu flow. Alright, so let's do... yeah, well, let's do maybe half... Any aerial stunts we could get through. Let's do just a couple of these, just to get ourselves familiar with details.
Teach you the basics.
I forgot these were
Watch the rider
FMVs.
negotiate this simple course. He uses the X button to accelerate and the left analog stick or directional buttons to steer around the obstacles. He
I
then
love how there was
uses
a
the
time where we
square
thought this
button
was
to apply
actually
the
a
brakes to
sensible
stop when the
way
target
to create
underneath the arrow.
tutorials.
Okay, now let's see how fast you can do it.
Although, somehow even games into the next generation did this in some cases. I remember Smash Bros. Brawl, and it's ludicrously awful. I don't remember if you...
Right, you got silver.
I think you get something for actually getting all gold in these or something. I think the bike that I'm using now is actually a bike you can unlock by getting all gold or something like that. I don't remember very well. I think it's a decent bike too, stats-wise. But this thing is not unlocked by default. Jeez, weirdly difficult to do that one too with the gold.
Some turns are a little tricky. You can use
just
the
the power
slide
slide?
to get
Yeah.
around a corner
R1.
or to turn your ATV faster. Watch the rider power slide around the sharp turns using the R1 button.
Oh yeah, you can just skip the video that way. I do think I remember most of these well enough. I just want to make sure. Very satisfying haptic feedback with the... Good job. This game is very fond of rumble everywhere.
Way cool, you got gold.
Also, this
To
narrator
master
only
your
exists in the
ATV, you'll
tutorial
need to
for
learn
what it's
how to
worth.
jump and land by preloading.
Preloading is
Watch
actually a
the
fun
rider
mechanic. I like
preload
this.
by pushing down on the left analog stick or directional buttons at the base of the jump and pushing forward as he leaves the jump. In the air, he controls the pitch of...
I feel like everything other than preloading is pretty intuitive. But yes, you really always want to do preloading using the analog stick, because otherwise you can't control how much you preload. Yes, that's what that little good job. That's what that little meter in the bottom right is, the thing that turns blue whenever I'm going up a slope. Then I can move the stick down and up, like this, to do a little hop, basically. Evidently the signs are saying I should be going around the other way, so I should probably do that. I will say, I always hated how the engines on some of these ATVs sounded. They do have different... I'm cutting that turn way too hard. I don't know why. Oh, you know what? There is another racing game I occasionally play where it does have drifting mechanic where the rear end of your car, not really car, but of your vehicle, swings out a good deal whenever you start a drift, which is not a thing in this game. That could be part of it. Also, you just turn really tight in this game, which always throws me off for some reason. Those goals are actually hard to get.
Time to combine everything you've learned.
Fair enough. Does this game do the cropped widescreen thing too? I'm not sure if it does. I feel like it might. It always feels nice being punished for having something in widescreen. I did not usually use widescreen back in the day. I don't think I had a widescreen TV to begin with. I was just playing on a good old 4.3 CRT. They didn't explain how you keep your speed up in those bumpy segments, did they? I believe the idea is that you just pull back a little bit. Oh shoot. You pull back a little bit on your, well, self, really.
Right, you got silver.
Jeez, I really feel like I should be able to get a gold on some of these. I'm not going to try it too many times because I don't want to spin an eternity in the tutorial. But the thing is, I never got particularly good at playing this game because I only ever just did free ride, so I guess now's the time to learn how to play the game. And or the game's just a little bit difficult, I don't know. So here you pull back a little bit. Can't steer very well, but I don't think I need to preload here, no. I usually want to get as little air as possible while still making the jump. Yeah, see, now that's smooth, but you don't want to end up...
You the man. You've learned the basics, so now it's time to learn some
Still want to make the
ground
jump.
stunts. Watch.
Yeah, we can do ground stunts, sure. Wheelie's easy, you just pull back. You have to, and this game is very analog. You pull back a little bit to go over, to keep your speed up when you're on bumps. Pull back a lot and you'll actually start doing a wheelie.
Boo, failure.
I think I failed. I guess it just took too long. I know I can speedrun this.
All right, you got silver.
I don't know why they time you on this. This feels silly.
Great work.
There you go.
Gold.
And
You've
I think I'll
learned some
stop there.
basic
So it's here.
ground stunts, and now it's time to try out some more advanced stunts. Watch the rider pull off 3 stunts: a cat knack, heel clicker, and point back.
Not all together, apparently. I like how they just say default. They can't be bothered to actually change this message depending on what you set your controls to. Oh, I actually remembered how to do. Heel click, that's funny. No, I didn't. That one's triangle and right. Somehow I thought it was circle. You know, I did it correctly the first time. Point back I actually somehow remember how to do after all this time. And yeah, for some reason point back is something that you cannot land while performing. Seems a little silly, but yeah, you have to do these all one at a time, evidently. Don't think you actually need to... I feel like you can probably... do the trick wherever you have enough air. No, not... But yeah, the game is fairly unforgiving about landing these. And your collisions do actually change as you do the trick, so any trick that causes you to, like, stand up on your bike or anything like that, you actually have to be careful about. And these golds are hard.
Not bad. You scored silver.
I think I'll leave that there. Yeah, I'll say that's enough for now. I mean, I'll probably come back to this at some point, maybe to try to unlock the bike, but some of those times are hard to get. But yes, I feel sufficiently warmed up. And there are funny things too, like usually anything touching the actual character will cause them to just like fall over pretty intensely. But I don't think single event unlocks you or anything. You have to do everything in the championship. I love how the locked tracks are just no ATV, as if somehow the way we unlock these is just we get enough money to bribe them to change the laws to us to drive there or whatever. Or these courses are just sitting there, clearly made for ATVs, but not allowing ATVs on them. Anyhow. Yeah, so the way you actually progress and do stuff in this game is running through this little championship mode. This is just a simple race. You know what? The world said that we're female. You don't get to choose these things. So there's the quick stuff, there's the not quick stuff. So you actually have parts of your ATVs to swap out and whatnot. So here are the bikes that we have now. These are not the stats entirely endemic to these bikes, though I don't think, because I think if we change our tires, I think that will change the stats on these. It's ridiculous. Honestly, the cornering already feels really good to me. But the cornering feels extremely touchy to me in this game. I can't even imagine what high cornering is going to look like once we get that stuff. To me, it's just weird not having like the best bike in the game from the beginning, but oh well. We only have one kind of tire we can use. You do have to consider which kinds of surfaces you're driving on in a given course. For instance, are you driving on snow, or sand, or dirt, or ice? If you were spending a lot of time on ice, you'll actually want ice tires, you know, like little spikes in them. Those sorts of things. And then garage, I believe you can, yeah, then you have the, so there's the ATV to begin with, which has its base stats, but then you actually have tuning to do. I can just change the whole ATV to start with. which for some reason involves a loading screen now, which it didn't before. But then there's the tuning. Yeah, so you can play with these little bits here. Should take a pinch of these at some point. Acceleration and top speed. Okay, so gear ratios versus acceleration versus top speed. Shocks. Yeah, these I never really meaningfully played with, so I may consider touching those up later. Then you have parts. Yes, parts also modify your stats. Which I think I only have one option on each of these in the moment. Yeah. Well, tires you already had, but... I think these ones are actually... Yeah, I think the nerf bars and buffer are actually just purely visual. But, the wheels... Well, yeah, wheels are also purely visual. Tires and exhaust actually do something, at least. You can change how things look. All sorts of fun ways. You can unlock special paints, apparently, online. Never played online. I never had my PS2 hooked up to the internet. Climax really liked having online games, though. Logos are a thing, apparently. You can put wherever. I think they're just brand logos. You can probably buy more of them. And, importantly, we have the shop. Well, you can also customize your rider, which I haven't done yet, but... Yeah, so this is the Ultimate Bike, this is the Fury Bike. Yeah, so the best stuff in the game is Offroad Fury themed. I feel like this already has substantially better stats than the stuff we had, doesn't it? I think it does. That coring is way better in particular. Yeah, as soon as I can buy literally anything, I probably should. It's kind of awkward not being able to compare it to what I have now, but I feel like... Yeah, the base stats on these are way lower. Oh my god. Yeah, so we should, as soon as we can, get a better bike. I'll go back to the usual 50 minutes per episode thing for the most part here, but I'll make this one a little bit longer just because I like to actually get somewhere in the first episode. And get these things. 10,000 seems kind of excessive considering the smallness of the stat boost you get here, but whatever. Top speed versus acceleration, which do you want? Tires, these would be good to actually buy some more of. Yeah, notice that lots of these actually cost comparatively small amounts. And it's not just like a hierarchy of which ones are better too much, at least. They're not lots of them too, even this one's still only 1,000. But they're good to have. And pay attention to which course you're on. These things are purely visual, whatever. I'm not going to worry about these so much. Cost nothing and do nothing. I always thought the nicest looking outfit, well, I guess I'm really only used to what the male outfits are, but I always thought the Offroad Fury 3 outfit looked the best. It's like I'm familiar with any of these actual brands or anything. And then other stuff, which, I mean, you can play with those later if we ever do. You do pay out the government to buy new courses. Apparently. Calypso Islands is a fun one. I do like that one a good deal. It's probably my favorite racing course, actually, by a decent margin. None of these other ones are ones I recognize. For the most part, I just know the freestyle tracks. Minigames are a thing you can play, which I don't think I really acknowledge. Music videos, can't play those on here, so never mind those. I think the Do You Know Knife in Your Back song has the video in this game. It's a fun video. You can find it on YouTube just as well anyways. What's here to change? Oh, apparently you have skin tone. I couldn't even tell. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna say that's what the dice rolled for me. I'm not gonna bother changing the rest. You have a name, which I already set. You have a number, which I guess your number is 0. You put logos on things. You have other gear I can use? What do I do? I'm not very fond of the default, to be perfectly honest. It always felt too gaudy to me. I'm just gonna do shift everything. Apparently you can synchronize things. I'm not sure what it means to synchronize. Is it just saying, like, I want shift everything? Yeah, basically that's kind of funny. I don't really care what the rest is. Presumably they're made to look decent together, but I notice no difference really in the eyewear, so. Not gonna spend a lot of time worrying about this, but I feel like I can live with that. I mean, it's kind of hard, you can only see one part of the character at a time, but whatever. I was like, can I change your colors, because I'm not liking this green. Honestly, just do black and white or something, it's my channel colors. I can live with that. Text is legible enough, I think. That's not legible, I won't do that. Oh, so yeah, you can synchronize your ATV to it. Let's do that actually for the ATV. I do like the synchronizing colors of things option you have on here. Okay, and we'll actually do a little race or something. What if I swap those? Yeah, that's a lot better. Cool. If someone just, like, murders their guitar in the background, jeez. Alright, we're off to take on the world. And what I think is just like a beginner's race or something. Minigames are great, we worked hard on them, please play them. There's like a soccer or something. I don't remember very well. They're silly games, but I think I also probably never played them because I think they're multiplayer only. I don't think this game has AI for them. Yeah, it's gonna be weird actually doing episodes again instead of just like hour-long sittings that are treated as single episodes. Does this song play so much just because it's alphabetically first? The name of the band? Yeah, though, so I'm not going to recognize most of these racing courses, because I generally don't touch these. I do remember races being kind of tough. I also need to not bump into these things. The game didn't tell us how to reverse, did it? I only just now realized. I thought it was brake and gas at the same time as how you did that in this game. Also, for what it's worth, there are no rules in racing in this game beyond what the game enforces. And what I mean by that is, it is fair game to be as aggressive as you want. So if you have the chance to, say, like, go on a jump and land on another racer, you can do it. Just knock them over. And they won't deliberately do it to you, but it will occasionally happen to you, so might as well take a chance to do it if you get a good one. And I don't have the clearest idea of how to race well in this game or anything, just by virtue of not having much experience doing it. I think one reason I never did much of it in this game was I found it hard. But that was many years ago, so who knows now. Also, in this game, unlike some other games with racing and tricks you can do, there is no motivation in this game to perform tricks while in a race. You'll occasionally see the AI do it, just to show off, but there is no reason to do any kinds of tricks. There's no, like, boost meter or anything like many such games have. AI in this game also has a bit of a habit, if I recall, to just, like, fly in front of you at the very end of a race. So you might think you're doing just fine, but things can get a little messy at the end. I think that's another thing about this game too, though. The racing in this game is very clean, so to speak. It's not like some kart race where you have, I don't know, all sorts of chaos going on. Not that that's really my standard for racing. I mean, you've seen me play other racing games like by the same developer. Hot Wheels Sunshine Challenge, which its races don't have items or anything like that, but it still has a boost mechanic and tricks that feed into each other. I did that pretty poorly. I don't think they're going to catch up, though. But, yeah, not even having boosting or anything like that to do, this game is a little... I feel like the racing can be a little simplistic. I don't feel like you have much in the way of, like, really deep mechanics to... Yeah. Bad bounce. Probably should have preloaded there a little bit to get a bit more air. There too, I probably should have done that each time. But... there's just not much else to make things interesting in races in this game, I feel like. Oh. Was it really 200 feet? That sounds really dramatic compared to what I remember doing in this game, in this race, but okay. Oh, you do get money for getting points, okay. So there is a reason to do that, it's just different. Okay. Well, those are the only tires we have, so there's no point in trying to change. Okay, so next time we keep going in the race and we'll see if we just get enough money to get somewhere. We may also try out some other kinds of events like freestyle at some point too, if we can. I don't remember all the details. Bye everyone.